July. Toscanini takes a walk. Have a good time. Take care. See you in September. On the way home that last day of school, Shirley heard their voices echoing. Beset, she wavered. Sometimes she ran, couldn't wait to get away. Sometimes she dallied, turning back for one more glimpse of PS 8. Without books to carry, her arms were free, but to Shirley they seemed to sway from her shoulders as awkwardly as a chimpanzee's. Without stickball, the schoolyard had an eerie look, as desolate as Chongqing during an air raid. Where had everyone gone? Mabel was not due at her grandmother's house in North Carolina until next week. Tommy's cousins did not expect him before Saturday. Only Maria had to catch a bus. There had been enough players, but each had replied, "Oh, I can't, not today." All had changed. Vacation was here. Her classmates had plans that included their clansmen, not her. For the first time in a long while, Shirley thought of the courtyards. If only they were not so far away. She could join her own cousins and go skimming in a dragon boat, attend parties in honor of the weaving maid, visit temples set above the clouds, enter contests for hoisting the highest kite, harvesting the most silk cocoons. Surely they would welcome her. Surely. Suddenly she felt a tiny stab of fear. Had they forgotten her too? She vowed to answer fourth cousin's letter that afternoon. It had lain on the table for months. There was always so much to do, so little time. Also, writing in Chinese had become a chore. Too many of the characters were lost to her now. Again, that fear. Mother was right. She must never forget China or lose her Chinese. But then Shirley stuffed her hands in her pocket and fingered the report card. Slowly, pride took hold. She had passed every course and had gotten A's for effort. Mother would be delighted. Father would present her with a surprise. And tomorrow she could sleep late, read books she had picked herself, even do nothing if she pleased. And almost every day there would be baseball games on the radio, games to listen to all summer long. So what if she did not see her friends until September? She had mother and father and Senora, not to mention Toscanini. Shirley had plans, too, lots of them, like playing the piano and reading. She might even learn to knit. Yuck! Well, perhaps not that. Determined to have a good summer, she raced the rest of the way home. Before long, Shirley was infected by a most severe case of Dodger fever. Not even strawberry ice cream could lure her away from the radio when Red Barber was broadcasting the latest adventure of De Bums. Truly nothing else mattered. Not the heat that glued her skin to the plastic chair, not an outing to the beach, not even a movie followed by a beef pot pie at the automat. Every time number 42 came to bat, she imagined herself in Jackie Robinson's shoes. Every time the pigeon-toed runner got on base, she was ready to help him steal home. And when Jackie's 16-game hitting streak ended, Shirley blamed herself. On that day, she had had to accompany her parents to greet Mr. Lee from Chongqing. Obviously, it was her absence from the radio that had made all the difference. Neither mother nor father shared her enthusiasm. In fact, they welcomed the mayhem that emanated from the talking box as if it were a plague of locusts at harvest time. But none of their usual parental tricks succeeded in undoing the spell. What could possibly compete with the goosebumps Shirley sprouted each time Gladys Gooding and her organ led the crowd at Eppets Field in the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner? Shirley even talked the Senora into letting her off early to catch the final innings. She had grown quite fond of the toothless Senora, who no longer bothered with the formality of dentures at all during their lessons. In, no smile, no talk. Out, no eat. Problema. Big problema. Her initial impression of Toscanini had been more difficult to overcome, however. What a nag he was. Squawk, squawk, squawk. Even so, one sultry afternoon, when the curtains hung perfectly still, she volunteered to take Toscanini for a walk. Walk? Repeated the Senora, smacking her head in disbelief. Walk? Dogs go for walks, cats maybe, but never birds. In China, birds go for walks every day. They do? Toscanini has made one walk in all his life, from shop to here. No wonder the bird had such a terrible disposition, Shirley thought. You think he like? Oh, yes. Okie dokie, you make walk. Before appearing in public with Toscanini, however, Shirley had first to spruce up his cage. Its present condition would have shamed an elephant. Upstairs, she quickly dismissed grandfather's practice of setting the bird free during the cleaning and inviting it back inside with a mere whistle. Toscanini was hardly the type to be trusted. Besides, if mother ever came through the door to find a strange parrot rushing about the apartment, she would faint away. What to do? What to do? No problema. With a pair of chopsticks, she removed what could be easily removed. With father's toothbrush, she tackled the rest. And Shirley was right. Toscanini loved walking. He blew out his chest to soak in the sunshine. He was sociable when strangers stopped to wish him a good day. He danced when Mr. P treated him to a handful of seeds. Not once did he flap his wings. Not once did he squawk. She could not wait to report on the success of their maiden voyage to the Senora. But once back inside the basement, Shirley saw immediately that her teacher was in no mood to enjoy the details. Rocking back and forth, the figure in black stared blankly ahead. The folds of her cheeks were drawn in a mournful pucker. On her lap was a letter. She never noticed that her pupil was back. Instinctively, Shirley kneeled by the rocker and took the Senora's hands in hers. What's wrong, Senora? A tear fell and blurred the writing on the letter. Don't cry, Senora, please. Shirley wondered if she should go get her mother. Little girl, you are nice, very nice, like my nonny. She pretty too. Who's nonny? My own little girl. She lives far away in my old country, so far away. Shirley could not bear to see the sadness on the Senora's face, and lowered her gaze until it rested on the old woman's hands like those of grand-auntie, which she used to hold, hands so old and so very far away. Suddenly, Shirley thought she would cry too. I wish to be with my nonny. I wish every hour. Why can't you? Who care for house? No rent, my people no eat, so I stay, like a watchdog with family away. 10 years now I am watching. 10 years without my nonny. It was a lifetime, more years than Shirley had been alive, more years perhaps than grand-uncle had left in this world. Once I visit old country. I pay man to do for house, but he was bad. He steal rent. Now can never go back again. Shirley looked up. But you can go. You can. My mother and father will look after the house. They are worthy. They come from an illustrious clan from the ancient civilization of China. Don't cry any more. You can go to your nonny. The idea pleased the old woman, for her lips parted until her pink gums showed in a huge smile. Then she giggled like a maiden. See, I knew you would see. The problema was solved. It was amazingly simple. All that was left to be done was to convince mother and father. Was this not proof of yet another great opportunity in modern America? Surely they could not possibly think this was just Bandit's scheme to escape the tyranny of piano lessons for the joys of Jackie Robinson.